like I said, we drove down, took for his last CT scan and trail. They did their little fucking whatever, their shots and their, make him take all the dye and try and figure out where the clot is and all, or where the tumor is and shit. And then they were like, yeah, so we're going to go in, we're going to cut out his kidney, his appendix, part of his mucolicus or whatever muscle that it's not, your sciatic nerve runs through it, and then there's also another nerve that controls like your leg movement and shit that runs through it. And so we fucking drive him home. A couple weeks go by, the surgeon calls and is like, oh, we're going to try and get him in the next month. And me and Mira were like, look, he's lost like fucking 90 pounds. Like, the guy can't even barely pick up a cup of coffee, can't eat. Like, no, you need to deal with this. Like, it needs to fucking happen like now, like right now. And so the surgeon called back. He was like, oh, I don't know, we'll do what we can with COVID, blah, 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 blah. And calls back and he's like, okay, you have to have him here by Monday, which was his birthday, September 14th.
Right.
So he went under the knife at fucking like 7 o'clock, September 14th. So I'm like, Dad, it's your fucking birthday. You're like going under the knife. It's kind of a shitty fucking birthday present. And he's like, who knows? Maybe it'll be the best one ever.
That's
and
awesome.
then anyway, so like me and Mira are sitting in this fucking parking lot in Kelowna, and she's like, I'm going to hang out at whatever, Blue Sky Jeans or some stupid fucking thing. And she's like, here's my phone. When the surgeon calls, I don't want to answer it while I'm buying jeans. Both our phones ring, so I answer mine. And he's like, oh, this is surgeon whatever, Steinman or whatever the fuck the guy's name was. He's like, yeah, it's amazing. He's like, somehow the fucking growth, like, moved up his spine, turned 33 degrees, dropped back down behind all of his appendix, behind his kidney, and like left us a perfect pocket to access it that like you couldn't ask for. You couldn't ask for a better fucking pocket.
Wow.
And there's like 3 surgeons. It's like they're all cancer surgeons, and they're like, yeah, we've never done an operation like this because normally colon cancer is like 2.5 centimeters long, and Dad's was like 20.8 or something.
Oof.
Like no, they were basically like, we've never seen colon cancer like this, but it hasn't moved. So anyway, yeah, they go in, they do all this shit, they call him, they're like, oh, your dad survived the surgery, he's doing really good, we didn't have to remove any major organs, all things considered, this is about as good as it possibly could have gone, and we have really high expectations. Wow. And yeah, the rest, since then, like now he's home, and he's fucking wheeling wood and stacking wood and fucking crazy.
So it went from a scenario where you guys thought you could have lost him.
Went from a scenario where I didn't think there was a possibility he would live. Like I was like, there's no way. Like he's 90 pounds soaking wet, and like.
At what point did I give him the energy healing?
It was like right before we took him to trail. That's
for the second time. For the second time.
Alley at your dad's.
Yeah.
And we talked a little bit, and then you called, and you were like, hey man, is it okay if I like send some energy to your old man? I was like, yeah, fuck right, of course. So. But yeah, man, it's like we're talking under 2 months, like 2 months to the day almost. What, November 16th today?
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah, so 2 months, 2 days since the surgery, and the guy's like fucking cooking dinner and wheeling wood and shoveling fucking paths to my shop and Mira's house.
So he's doing great, so that's great. But what actually happened? Like they thought his circumstances actually changed.
Well, he's supposedly cancer-free, supposedly. Like they were like, you're gonna die.
Dude, I gave one energy healing in his cancer. He was cancer-free. And then he went back and kept getting radiation. And now they got him on hormones and all this shit, and he has cancer again.
Yeah.
But that's absolutely amazing.
Oh, man, it was amazing. Like, the surgeons were like, I don't know.
They don't know what the fuck happened because it changed.
Like, you're really good. And then they were saying he was going to be in the hospital for like 3 months. And then he met this, like, fucking physiotherapist. So she's like, oh, I think you should be at home. Like, you're strong. Well, and that was the craziest thing. So they did, like, a lung test on him, right? Because he's been smoking since
he's in better shape now. Dude, this is...
Dude, he's been smoking since he was 13 years old.
This is what happens, Shawnee, every time, dude.
The lady's like, blow into this thing, and he like blew the ball out of the top. And she was like, try that again. And he was like, and the thing like bottomed out, got stuck in the test cap or something. And they're like, he's like, can I please go for a smoke? Like, I haven't smoked in 3 weeks. I just really want to smoke. And they're like, yeah, it's okay. You go for a smoke. Like, whatever. Like,
Wow.
you're fine.
No, check this out. This is what I teach, Johnny. Not only can the energy change their biology, right? It also changes their circumstance. The organs move themselves in a manner that they could do what they had to do without removing them all, right?
Oh, it's crazy, man. Like, it's crazy.
So that's his circumstances changing as well as his biology. That's what I said I could do when I started the conversation.
Totally.
So
Like I
listen,
said, thank you.
thank you for thanking me because it powers me up. Thank you.
No, but it's like true, man. It's like
I told you.
it's crazy. Like I remember even like when your mom died, right? Like
Yeah.
that was brutal, right? Like we
Yeah.
all knew it was like, fuck.
Well, this is what me turning the most negative thing into a positive thing. That's why I do what I do now.
Which is amazing because she'd be so happy. Like,
Well,
like honestly,
the annoying thing is I could have healed her just no problem, easily. But now I know all this stuff, so it's due to that. But I feel her the other day, man, when I was healing someone, I feel her through me. Like she's helping me. And where I put my energy, I can see the bubbles too. So.
well, and honestly though, Tristan, man,
Yeah.
you were the most prized thing in her life, right? Like you've always been like, you know, how's life? Well, I've got this son, Tristan, right? Like I don't know. That's my experience. Like when being with Jess and going there for Christmas dinners and shit, right? Like she was so fucking proud of you. And it's like, even though she died, and unfortunately it was circumstances it was, and pneumonia, and
Hey, man, we're
and all that shit. But it's like I'm sure if she could look down right now and see like you healing people with energy, and like fucking Amber's got like the cutest child on earth, like the little fucking, you know, like manicure or mannequin or whatever. Like
Romeo.
yeah, no, like I mean, I don't know. I think she'd be pretty fucking proud.